What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Kings Court with me, Vincent Miracle, here for Fansided.com, GoldenGateSports.com, HoundSports.com, and of course, SacKingsNation.com. So be sure to go all four of those websites for all your daily Kings news. Yeah, did you guys hear that? That middle one there was HoundSports.com. That's because I'm writing now for a new website, so be sure to go check that all out. I'm a Kings analyst for HoundSports.com now, so you guys can see me on all four of those various websites. Now, before I go on to the show, this show, The Kings Court, is sponsored by the Quality Shop located in downtown Roseville. If you are looking for quality clothes at a quality price, go to the Quality Shop located in downtown Roseville, where everyone will be there to set you up just nice. Now, guys, it's been a week, and a lot has happened this week. First off, before I get into any Kings news, like about Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins making the final cuts, like about how the Kings are interested in possibly getting an overseas Russian guard named Dmitry Kulagin, like how I could be hearing Josh Smith rumors will be back up on board. I should be turned down my phone. Sorry if you guys heard that text message sound. But yeah, that's the stuff I'm hearing about the Kings right now. But before I get into all that, I did say that I will be doing the Around the Horn episode with you guys. I did say that if you come and watch this episode, you will see how this will all work out. So that's exactly what I'm going to get through first. Now, the first thing is this. Here are the three biggest rules about the Around the Horn episode. And if you cannot handle these rules, then I'm afraid, you shouldn't try out for it. Because if you curse, you're automatically out. That's the first rule. That's the biggest rule. You cannot curse on this show at all. Second rule is this: you'll have 35 seconds to answer any of the questions. The questions that we will be on the show, we will be doing a pre-show the day before, so all of you guys can look up your stats. All of the people who actually make the show, well, you can have an accumulation of stuff that you want to work off of, just like how I have my sheet and my stuff right here on my iPad and things like that. And the third rule is this, and that's have some fun. I'll be the mediator on the other side of the camera, so each of you guys will have 35 seconds to answer. If you go over that 35 seconds, you have 5 extra seconds. You do not need to take up that full 35 seconds. I mean, you can be done within earlier than the 35 seconds. All I am saying is you have up to that time, plus the 5 extra seconds. If you need to go over, I'll have a stopwatch. Points will be given, randomly. I will be deciding who will be the winner just by off of things like that. Ryan Hernandez, if you are watching, just because you were a co-host does not mean that you just because you used to be a co-host on the show when we first started out does not mean that you are not able to be on the Around the Horn episode, because you never know. Maybe these people do want to talk to you. So if you feel like you want to get on, you can get on as well, if that was going to be a question that you would ask later on. And Marley Silverbrand, just because you're the video editor, and I'll get on a reason why the videos have not been looking as spectacular as they were while Marley was on board, because he still is on board. But Marley, if you want to be on the Around the Horn episode as well and try and figure stuff out, you can as well. But yeah, so those are the two biggest rules. Is you'll have 35 seconds to answer. I'll be the mediator. There will be up to 3 rounds with 4 people. 4 or 5 people, actually. I believe it's 5. Each round you'll lose 1 person. The final round will be between a battle between the 2 of you guys, where each will have 45 seconds each to answer each question that I give you, which will probably be only 2. And the winner will receive another one of these Kings banners that VL Vocals won. So I have another one of these things to give away that you guys can have. Now that that's out of the way, I want to get on to another bit of house cleaning here, and that's about the videos. Now, you guys loved how we have the B-rolls of, like, I don't know, Rudy Gay going off for some points while I'm talking about Rudy Gay and the things that he does. DeMarcus Cousins, Isaiah Thomas, Darren Collison. We had all of these videos, showing highlights of certain players. Even when I had, Sam Amico from Fox Sports. We had a B-roll of LeBron James going on in the background, or Isaiah Thomas going to Phoenix in the background. We had stuff like that. And you know what? That's awesome, and we're going to have it back on the show. We definitely will. But Marley Silverbrand, our video editor here for the Kings Court and SacKingsNation.com, his computer crashed, and we had technical difficulties. I'm doing the best that I can do with my video editing skills, although I'm not a video editor, as you guys have seen in my before episodes. And if you haven't seen in my before episodes, yeah, they are not that great, but I'm getting a little bit better, I think. I mean, if you guys disagree, let me know by just saying, Vince, your video editing sucks. Get Marley back as soon as possible. And you know what? I completely agree, and I would not disagree with you at all. But yeah, that's why he has not been on the show. He's trying to get, you know, a laptop so he can come on and give his input on parts of the team. He was actually supposed to be on, you know, the week that his computer crashed, he was actually supposed to be on the show. So there's that. Speaking of guests on the show, we will be having another guest on the show, the founder and creator of houndsports.com, a new, you know, person who sponsors this show, the new website that I write for covering the Sacramento Kings and the NBA in general. He will be coming on. His name is Eric. You guys will be meeting him probably next Thursday in the next upcoming weeks or so. So you guys prepare for that. And yeah, so that's, I think, a bit of all the house cleaning that I really needed to get into. Yeah, that's about it. So let's move on to the first topic of the day. And since the last week that this show has been on, you know, we were talking about final cuts. We were wondering whether or not Rudy Gay would make it, whether or not DeMarcus Cousins. Why can I not talk? Whether or not DeMarcus Cousins will also make this USA team. Well, guess what, guys? They both made it. Both players, Rudy Gay, DeMarcus Cousins, will be representing Team USA in their country during the FIBA World Cup. That's crazy to think about. I mean, the last player to be on a FIBA World Cup team that was from the Sacramento Kings was Brad Miller, I believe. Yeah, it was Brad Miller. So Brad Miller was the last player to, you know, actually be a Sacramento King and actually make the World Cup team. And, you know, all those rumors that was circled around DeMarcus Cousins possibly getting snubbed by, you know, Mason Plumlee or Kenneth Faried or things like that. You know, it's now on the back burner because now DeMarcus Cousins proved that he's better than most. Who cares if he's coming off the bench? Kenneth Faried is a nice fit. He's a great rebounding guy. DeMarcus Cousins, you know, they look at him and probably Rudy Gay as a double dose of six-man. I mean, you saw what happened in their last exhibition game, and if you didn't, I will try my best to get this B-roll going here. Let's see. If that means I try to set the B-roll going with my finger, that's a signal for me, not for you guys. But yeah, you guys saw it on the whole against Slovenia, the country that they played. You know, they did work. I mean, Cousins within 14 minutes had 3 steals and 3 blocks and I think six points. You know, he went off. Rudy Gay went off for like 11 points as well. You know, so it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, this is exactly what this team needs, and I think it's exactly what this Sacramento Kings team needs if they're going to develop for the future. You know, DeMarcus Cousins needs to become a leader, and being around a team where he's not going to be that number one guy. He needs to stay humble and learn his place in certain areas. I think that helps him become a leader of a team. Plus the fact that him and Rudy Gay will be bonding. Rudy Gay, of course, all of you guys know, opted into his $19.3 million player option during this actual offseason. And, you know, if at the end of the season he could possibly be an unrestricted free agent. You know, there's even rumblings from an article that I wrote a while ago that if you guys want, I can repost on Twitter. Just, you know, write it down. Hey, Vince, can you send me the link? And I'll post it in the comment section below about Rudy Gay. But, you know, I've had a couple writers tell me, you know, privately, whose names will not be mentioned, that it's a 80% chance that the Kings keep Rudy Gay. But if the Kings are on pace for a, you know, another 28 win season, another 30 win season, I mean, or a 30 win season, I should say, the chances of Rudy Gay leaving becomes possibly even 60-40, and that means 60% chance he stays. That's a 20% drop. I mean, even the writer said, you know, and it says it in the article, that the Kings really do want Rudy Gay on this team, and they're going to do anything and everything they can to keep him on this team. And putting both DeMarcus and Rudy on the same team for Team USA, you know, helps Vivek Ranadive, Pete D'Alessandro, Coach Malone build that chemistry and, you know, build off of these two and show that these two players right here are going to be the cornerstone players for the Sacramento Kings. So, you know, just a big, you know, applaud to those two players for making Team USA, representing Sacramento, representing their country in the FIBA World Cup. And you know that everyone down here at SacKingsNation.com and Sacramento, for all of us websites, you know, we'll be rooting for you guys, especially, you know, the Team USA in general. But, you know, as Kings fans on the Kings court, we got to be rooting for our two players that happen to make the roster. All right, guys, so the second part of today's news is something kind of, you know, going around right now, that It has been reported through multiple media outlets that the Sacramento Kings are interested in Russian point guard or Russian guard Dmitry Kulagin. Now, I've done my research on him. You know, I've looked up the scouting reports on him because he's an overseas player. He's 22 years old. Kid has got a nice handle. He's 6'6". His jump shot is a bit Marcus Thornton-esque, meaning that it's very streaky. And I've been on Marcus Thornton about his jump shot in the past. So for those who know what I mean by saying it's Martin Thornton-esque, and you're a big fan of the show and you've been following the show for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about because you know exactly how I feel about his shot. Although it's good, it is very, very streaky. He's very aggressive. But the one thing that I do hand off to him, and it is very good, is that he is a very, very crafty passer. And he loves to make things look crafty, look special. Meaning whether that be passing the ball or whether that be scoring the ball. And that's even what a scout says. You know, an NBA scout who watches him play during the Adidas Euro Camp. You know, when they play and they go through it all, they're looking at what he can do. And these are the two biggest red flags that you'll see when reading and looking up things about Dmitry Kulagin. And it's in an article on SacKingsNation.com. And go check out the new layout, guys, the new logos up there. Brickhouse Industries, another sponsor of the show. You guys go check them out on Twitter. They designed that logo for me. It's really awesome. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, go look him up. It's on an article for SacKingsNation.com. Go check out the new layout on the website. Kulagin, you know, the two biggest red flags on him was his shot is a bit streaky, but he's always aggressive. The other thing is his temper. Now, how big of a temper, I don't know, but I will say this. If you type in Dmitry Kulagin, it's a top 3 video will pop up. I don't know if it's number 1 or if I know it's in the top 3 of Kulagin getting into a little altercation with an opposing team. And by altercation, I mean he slaps this dude in the face. Granted, the dude headbutted him in the mouth, so I mean you don't just take getting hit in the mouth and, you know, and just say, oh yeah, you just hit me in the mouth. No, you get him back, and I understand why he did it, especially as a young kid, being only that he's only 22 years old, a year older than me, because I am 21. But yeah, he slaps him in the face a little hard. I mean, they say he has this short temper. You don't really see it, but you do see the aggressiveness in him when you're looking up highlights of him, and when you read about him, that's one of the things that they always praise about is at 6'6", he has a very nice handle. His form on his jump shot, I would say, it is nice, but he does a Tyreek Evans type of shot where he fades when he doesn't need to. Like his initial shot is a lean back fader, and that actually can affect your jump shots. For those who don't know, you're supposed to go straight up and release. That's an ideal jump shot. That's a perfect jump shot, as they would say, like a perfect jump shot. That's when you lean back, there's a possible chance of you being short. You possibly, you know, so many variations go into a jump shot, but the point is that his jump shot is a bit of a fader no matter what he's doing. So that kind of is the one niche on the shot, which probably makes his shot a bit streaky as well. But he is very aggressive. He has a nice handle. He is 6'6". He is only 22 years old. You know, he's a nice player. Will the Kings sign him? I'm hearing that they're only interested. And if they do look to sign him, he is Dmitry Kulagin, he's already playing for a different team in Russia. I can't remember the team's name off the top of my head, but it is in the article. And since that he is no longer draft eligible, since he was undrafted this year in the NBA draft, they now have to look for him as a free agent. And if they're going to do so, they have to pay off whatever he's making in Russia on that Russian contract with that team. So, do they sign him? You know, it's possible he'd be a nice prospect to have. I mean, they do only have 2 point guards really on the Kings roster now. They would love to have a number 3. Maybe Deonte Burton's going to be that. That's why they look to sign him onto a training day contract. But, you know, maybe that's why they're looking at him. Maybe they're seeing something that they've scouted, they like, and they've kept an eye on him during the draft. And DraftExpress.com, where I read all these scouting reports, and their international players, he was ranked top in this number 16, so he was ranked in the top 20 of all the international players coming out. So that is my take on Dmitry Kulagin. Do I think the Kings should go after him? I mean, he's a prospect. I mean, if he's making change in Russia, and you guys think that he is someone that can develop into something nice, I mean, why not try it out? 3-year deal, just like Eric Moreland, though. It has to be a 3-year deal. You have to see what he is if you're going to bring him in from overseas. I mean, you did the same thing with Peja. His first year, I think even 2 years, you let him stay in his country and, grow as a player, then brought him back, and look what happened. His rookie season, he averaged 7.4. Next season, breakout season. So, if they bring him, maybe, I mean, no matter what, it's nice, but that's what you gotta just wonder, how much is he gonna be worth, and is he worth it? And I think at the minimum it has to be at a 3-year contract, because you're gonna sign him. But yeah, all right, guys. And the third and final thing was these Josh Smith rumors, and I don't know if you guys have read the reports, but what I'm hearing through multiple people that are talking to me, they always ask me, so what are you hearing about Josh Smith? Oh, have you read this? And they'll send me a link on Twitter, and they're like, oh, did you see this? That they might be talking back to Josh Smith. They might revisit things for a third time. I say pump the brakes. I think that the Kings will only get Josh Smith if Detroit is willing to take on the pieces that they feel, that the Kings feel are not, part of the future, which is Derek Williams, Jason Thompson, possibly Jason Terry, things like that. They're not going to give up Ben McLemore for Josh Smith. That contract's not worth it. Now, again, do we need a player like Josh Smith as a Kings franchise? Do they need a player like Josh Smith, I should say? And I've said it. I thought they should have went after Josh McRoberts. He's a cheaper version. I think that he would be a better fit. But at the same time, the Sacramento Kings are a small market team. I've always advocated that if you're a small market team, you need as much talent on the floor as possible. But it's high risk, high reward. It's not low risk, high reward. It's high risk, high reward in this situation, because Josh Smith is a risky player. He has had, we've talked about this before, guys. He has had history with getting into it with coaches. He has had history getting into it with, with other players on his team, with teammates. But he is a nice player. He's borderline all-star all day when he plays his natural position, and I think that is a stretch 4. He is not a 3. He's not a 3. He is a power forward. He can play with his back to the basket, which is more ideal. He can take mid-range shots, which is more ideal. But he can also step to the 3, which most hope he doesn't do as much as he did in Detroit, although he was a small forward there, and they asked him to play as a wing player. And wing players shoot. I mean, let's be honest. Wing players shoot. And, yeah, so that's my take on that. It's just pump your brakes. Because who cares if they're talking to him? It's if it's actually going to happen. I can say the Kings talked to Kevin Love. It's true. They made an offer to go get him, but they didn't have enough assets. The Kings have talked to Josh Smith, but yet nothing's happened. The Kings have talked to Boston. They have talked to Boston, but nothing has happened. So let them keep talking until a offer is back on the table, like we saw possibly a Derek Williams, Jason Terry, and Jason Thompson offer with the second-round pick. That's something I would be interested in seeing. But as of right now, it's noise in the wind. It's nothing. It's something that you all should not care about. Alright, guys, we did not get any fan questions today, but if you do have a question that you want to get on the show, you can email your questions to sknarticles@gmail.com, or you can tweet your questions in to @sknarticles for the show here for SacKingsNation.com, or you can tweet me and follow me on Twitter as well @VMCenter, where you'll be getting a bunch of articles from SacKingsNation.com as well that I've written, a bunch of Kings news that I just post up, or interactions with you, the fans yourself. Again, this show is sponsored to you by the Quality Shop located in downtown Roseville for quality clothes at a quality price. Go to the Quality Shop located in downtown Roseville right off of Vernon Street. Alright, guys, so that is the show for today. Leave your comments in the comment section below about how pumped you are to see Rudy and DeMarcus Cousins come off that bench for the FIBA World Cup, Team USA. Do you guys want to see Dmitry Kulagin get signed? I mean, look him up. Go read the article on SacKingsNation.com and let me know what you guys all think. And what are you hearing about these Josh Smith rumors? And would you want him to be on this team? Let me know. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Hit that like button to let us know here at SacKingsNation.com and the King Square family here that you are enjoying these episodes, that you like what we're bringing to the table each and every week. and it really does help. You know, if you don't like it, hit that dislike button, but then leave your comments in the comment section below to let us know how we can improve it so you enjoy the show as well. But at the same time, we can't impress everybody. And finally, guys, before I sign off with my normal sign off, remember how Around the Horn episode. Oh, I actually didn't explain how you get on the show, did I? I didn't. So let me explain how you get on the show. To get on the show is this: tweet me, DM me, or email would probably be better at sknarticles@gmail.com. Just what you think the Kings feel about anything. Josh Smith, how they feel. Why do you think the real reason is they got rid of Isaiah Thomas? What do you think Darren Collison brings? I mean, these are all questions that are going to be popped up on the show and things like that. So I want to know your guys' take on the Kings. Just let me know. Go all out as long as you want. It can be up to, as many characters as 160 characters on Twitter, and then just tweet to me at VMCenter or email me, as long as a 2-page essay on what you think the Kings are. Leave your name, leave your Gmail, because it's going to need to be a Gmail, just so you guys know, because we are going to be doing Google Hangouts during these videos, and I'll be picking my 4 on the next week, and that following week we will be doing the Around the Horn episode. So you guys study up on your stats, email me, tweet me at VMCenter, follow me on Twitter as well so I can DM you back the information. And until next time, Kings fans, for fansided.com, GoldenGateSports.com, HoundSports.com, and of course SacKingsNation.com. Till next time, guys.